Okay, in the last video, we discussed exploration and discovery in astronomy, in particular in the solar system, and mentioned how a lot of space probes have either landed on or gone near planets, and certainly a lot to learn from doing that. But also there's a lot to learn just by analyzing light that comes in from the cosmos to the Earth, whether a telescope or binoculars or even your naked eye. So the next sequence then is I want to talk a little bit about pollution. Pollution. Now the question is, why would I want to be talking about pollution now? I thought we were talking about light. Well, let's just talk about what types of pollution there are. Okay, here's some you're probably familiar with. There's the good old trash on the beach. There's the good old industrial waste in water. Oh boy, what is that red stuff? Then there's, of course, air pollution, right? So all these are kind of bad here, but there are types of pollution nonetheless. Okay. So here's my next slide. And this is a picture of the Earth at night. So it's obviously taken from high above, a satellite, something like that. And of course, the whole world isn't in darkness at night at one time. So it's sort of a composite of different images taken from a satellite from above. And so what I'd like you to do then is just to look at this image here for a moment. Just go ahead and look around it and see if you can think of anything that's sort of like strange about it. Anything strange at all about this? Well, you know, one thing that's kind of revealing about it is you can kind of see where people live, because that's where the lights are. So see, the eastern two-thirds of the United States is very populated, and there's the west coast right here. Usually Las Vegas is somewhere right around in there somewhere. You can see this sort of in the inner depths of, say, South America and Africa. There aren't very many lights, either that there's no people there or there's no technology for the lights there. You can see Europe well lit, India, and Japan, Australia, that sort of thing. So you see a lot of nice lights, but still there's still something wrong with this picture here. I don't know if you can tell what it is. Well, the question then about a picture like this is sort of wrong with it then is why can we see the lights? Why is it that we can see our artificial lighting from outer space? And I'll tell you why we can. It's because it goes something like this. I'll just sort of draw this right over this image here. So suppose, you know, you're sort of here on Earth, and maybe here's your house right here or something. So here's your house. And suppose maybe outside your house you have a porch light on. Maybe there's a light right here that you turn on at night for security reasons or whatnot. Okay. And so, of course, when the light's on, it does a good job of illuminating the ground and around your house. And you can kind of see maybe, you know, your path that you walk up to the doorway. Maybe you're coming home from the grocery store at night or whatever. And they're very nice to have on and everything like that. But when you think about it, also, this light from this lamp here also goes up into the sky, okay? Now, of course, not all lights are like this, right? I realize that there's some lights that maybe look like this that are sort of maybe contained in a box or a lantern like that, maybe concentrates light to be downward. So certainly light's going to go up, but maybe gets caught or reflected back out. I'm aware of that. But at least in a case like this here, sort of a naked bulb like this would send light straight back up again. And that's sort of what we're seeing here. So the question then is, the question on this is why? Why send light up into the sky? Like, why do we do that? Well, partly laziness, partly just poor bulb design, partly all these things, partly over illumination. It's all of these things, but it has a drastic impact on what we can see in our sky. In other words, these lights that we have, that we turn on at night, has a lot of this light that escapes up into the sky. We don't need it to light the sky. We need to light the ground and things in front of us so we can see it now. We don't need it to go up, but it does. It, you know, leaks or whatever, off it goes, and so you can clearly see it here. But we just don't need to be doing this. I mean, it's kind of a waste of light energy. It's kind of a waste of electricity. And there's really no reason for us to be lighting up the sky. There's no reason for us to be lighting up outer space. So I will show you some consequences of us doing this in the next slide. But that's what's wrong with this slide here. Why are we sending light up into outer space?